Brenner Mills, Minnesota Vikings. Just want to win one before I die.
Dalton Zahnrecker, Dallas Cowboys. Just trying to earn a little respect.
Lane Cooner, the conductor of the Baker train.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode here on Wide Eye Sports. Today, we are going to be talking 2025 NFL training camp stories to watch out for. We're each going to give our favorite. We're just going to make it a quick little video, just a little teaser for training camp here in a few weeks. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the noti bell if you want to get tuned into all of our videos. Let's talk about it, boys. I'll go first. My most intriguing storyline, you could say, that I am looking out for is the Giants quarterback room as a whole. I want to see all of it. I am really intrigued to see because I have got the notion, I guess, or the impression from Russell Wilson that he learned something from Mike Tomlin, that he's no longer the pompous, arrogant, Mr. Invincible guy.
No. It's unlimited.
Unlimited. That's what I'm sorry. Mr. Unlimited. Like, he's no longer that guy. He's not on the social media all the time, blowing air up his own rear end. He's not doing that. He's taking a step back. He's reverted back to 2014, 2015, 2016 Russell Wilson, who, hey, I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to lead my men, and I'm going to work really hard. Like, that's what he did so well. And in my opinion, he very much benefited from a strong run game early on in Seattle. And when Pete Carroll kind of gave him the reins of, okay, let's do it the way you want, their offense became very one-dimensional. Russ wanted to push the ball down the field all the time, too trigger-happy, and it didn't work because NFL defenses were smart. And Russell Wilson, one of the best moon balls of all time, throwing the football, but you can't throw a moon ball every play. It just doesn't work. And I think he will really benefit from being in New York and taking a step back. I really like that, at least on the outside, it appears he has learned something and is head to the grindstone, getting it done. Jameis Winston is an absolute hoot anytime you put him in front of a camera. And even when he's not in front of a camera, anybody will tell you that's close to him, like, that's just who he is. He's just that guy. He's just a goofy, fun, all-around guy. So you have that. Then you obviously have Jackson Dart, who I'm not super high on, but I mean, he's in a really good situation. When I think about it, do I think Daboll is the best coach? No, but he is in a good situation of he's learning from a Super Bowl winning veteran quarterback who's made mistakes himself and has learned from them. He has Jameis Winston, who, like it or not, has thrown for 30 touchdowns in a season. Whether or not he threw for 30 interceptions as well is one thing, but a guy with proven NFL success who was a number one overall pick, who didn't pan out the way the franchise wanted and has learned from his mistakes. So now you have this rookie who is also a first-round pick and can learn from those two guys. And then you have Tommy, who has been in that system already. Daboll loves him. He is like, he's going to be Tommy practice squad probably before the season's over. But Daboll loves him. He's super aggressive with the football. He really knows the offense. He'll be able to help those guys with any questions they have regarding the offense at any time. So, and then you throw all that together and you have a really interesting reality TV show. So that is my storyline to watch out for this training camp, is the quarterback's room with the New York Football Giants. Who wants to go next?
Spoon, you want to go?
Yeah, I can. I mean, it's not really a storyline, I guess, more just like a team, because there's just a lot going on, I feel like, that I'm kind of interested in. So first of all, I'm just going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you have the TJ Watt. He's wanting a contract extension.
Yeah,
right now they're
35
not,
to 40 is last thing I saw.
Yeah, and they're not really. I'm just going to go ahead and say I assume that they're going to come up with some kind of deal, because why would you let that kind of talent walk away over contract problems? Yeah, so they're gonna reach a deal. But I'm also going to be paying attention because we saw what happened last year whenever Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets. He ended up pulling a couple wide receivers over with him. I'm curious to see what wide receivers he's able to pull. I don't know.
The real question is, when does Alan Lazard become a Steeler?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if the Steelers are going to make a trade for a receiver. They might, or they might try to sign some free agent talent. I did see recently that Keenan Allen said that he has no interest in going to the Steelers, so I think that's out of the picture. But I mean, maybe they get an Amari Cooper or something. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that because I feel like just with the name Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to have some draw to try to pull somebody over there to help them out a little bit because you can't just run a team with DK Metcalf as your only top receiver.
Yeah, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious to see how that works out because DK is due $31 million next year on his contract. His cap hit is $31 million. They're paying Minkah Fitzpatrick $24.4. They're paying Alex Highsmith, an outside linebacker, $20 million. So
That's
if
crazy.
you're paying Cameron Hayward's getting $20 million, Patrick Queen's getting $17
Are they
million.
the most expensive defense?
So they're spending a lot.
Probably.
I mean, Malik Harrison is getting the 7th most money on the team next season. So they're paying their defenders a lot of money. And
they're
if
going
I'm
to have to pay
TJ Watt, I'm like, I am the most important defender. You're not going to pay me. I make all those guys better. So I don't think he takes a deal here. I don't think he looks at Myles Garrett across the river and goes, he got $40 million. I'll take 35. I think he's going to want 41. So, and that's,
would you take, like, if you were starting a franchise right now, would you take TJ Watt or Myles Garrett? Which one would you start with?
Myles Garrett.
Okay, that's fair.
Myles Garrett.
That's fair.
That one's not hard for me.
So at least, but still, I think that it's closer. It's a little closer. I mean, especially whenever you're discussing all the defensive ends, like it's obviously a 1-2 punch between them two. I feel.
Yeah. The problem I'm seeing for the Steelers is they have $104 million in cap space next year, so they have plenty of money. Money is not an issue. They could pay that man $50 million next year. Right now, they could pay him $50 million. They would still be top 15 in cap space next offseason. Writing him a $50 million check. I
say just pay him 41.
No, I would actually go to him and I would say, we're going to give you $50 million, $50 million, then we're going to give you like 10 and 10. That's a $120 million 4-year deal.
That means he's averaging 30 mil a year. No, I think you at least got to get.
But
you got to at least do like 20 and 20 on the last two. So that way you're doing 140 for 4 years.
No guaranteed money, and we'll make it 30 a year with no guaranteed money. Because he's going to
get guaranteed.
Well, but you have to remember, he'll be 32 next year. 32 years old. So he's only got 3 years left to play in the NFL, period.
Well, I think 4 years is probably pushing it a little bit. I say, like, if they're going to have that much cap space, then give them 50 mil for like give them 2 years of 50 mil and then a third year of 30 mil. That's perfect. Or 20 mil.
Sure.
You're still going to have the cap space.
Sure. But one thing to remember is his brother retired at 33. JJ Watt retired at 33. So
that's fair.
I don't want to agree to a bunch of guaranteed money beyond 2 years if you're going to retire it the same age your brother did or a year later. I don't want to be paying you tons of money for you to retire. That's not what I want. So up and down there.
So you'd probably just max them out and be like, hey, here's 2 years.
Yeah. I'll pay you $110 million, 85% of it guaranteed for 2 seasons.
That's fair. I don't see why he wouldn't accept that. But he probably wants longevity, I guess. An extra year on the contract. I don't know.
That's cute. All right. Dalt, what is your storyline to watch out for this off-season training camp in 2025?
I think the most interesting things it's just QB rooms, man. There's a lot that are just up in the air. And honestly, 2 more that I can think of are the Colts and the Browns. The Browns, I think, is a little more fun and kind of like, if, who's going to show out? You know what I mean?
They're just taking darts at a dartboard at this point.
But the Colts is a little more sad to me. If you've watched our videos, you know how we feel about Daniel Jones. And I mean, just imagine being a former first-round pick and going into a QB competition with Daniel Jones.
Man, with the Browns, I don't see why they don't start reaching out to, like, I don't know why the Saints aren't reaching out to them, first of all, to try to get a trade going on with them.
Hold on. You guys remember what I told you a week ago? I think it was either week before or 2 weeks ago. I think they're waiting for a you name it, whoever you want, a Tua, a Kyler, a Purdy,
No, for somebody to go down.
A starter to go down.
Gotcha.
And they call up with a playoff ready team and say, hey, we'll give you a 3rd round pick for Joe Flacco right now. And they go, yep, thank you. We'll send him right over. Like, no question.
Well, that's why I'm confused. I don't see why the Saints aren't hitting him up right now saying, like, hey, we'll send you a 3rd for Flacco. That way, because, I mean, that's perfect because they have a young quarterback room. Get him in there and let those two guys learn.
Think about it this way. If you're the Browns right now, Saints call you, hey, we'll give you a 4th round pick for Joe Flacco. You go, yeah, we're going to weigh our options. We'll be back to you. Hang up the phone. What happens when the Saints starting quarterback in training camp gets hurt and is out 8 weeks? Now they're
Spencer Rattler? Is that
whoever it is? Now they're extra desperate for a quarterback. Right now they're really desperate, and they have interest. So you call them up and you go, yeah, I think I'm going to need an early 3rd for Joe Flacco to let go of him. He's really impressed us this offseason in training camp. I really think we're going to do really well with him. So unless you can entice me a little bit more, I don't think I can let him go. And they go, okay, all right, early 3rd it is. And you go, okay, perfect. We'll send him right on over. Click.
Yep.
Send him right on over.
And that's obvious. And I mean, obviously, Dalton, you brought it up. Here we are, like we're sitting here talking about it. So obviously, that's a very interesting story that we're all going to be paying attention to.
Yeah. Or let's
like
say,
I said though, I just think the Colts one is really, I would not be super excited if I was a Colts fan. You have on one hand QB Daniel Jones. Honestly, Daniel Jones is the most enticing one for me because I could very much see him possibly having a Sam Darnold like year. Now, is Shane Steichen the same kind of coach that Kevin O'Connell is? No. But anything's possible.
So here's a really interesting one to me. What happens? So I think this is one to watch out for if it happens. If the 49ers were to have Brock Purdy get hurt, I think Joe Flacco is the no-brainer option there because Robert Saleh, the current defensive coordinator there, brought him in right away when he went to New York. Brought him in right away as a veteran presence. I think that would be a no-brainer. Now, obviously, I'm not hoping for Brock Purdy to get hurt or anything. No. I'm just saying if they were to need a quarterback, I think that's a no-brainer. Or if nobody calls and they are going to release Joe Flacco, they can call the Niners and go, hey, Purdy's your guy. I understand that. You got Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe a 7th round pick for Joe Flacco. The rights to Joe Flacco.
Right.
Well, you get the rights to the contract. So, that kind of thing. That is also something to look out for. If nobody gets hurt, everybody stays healthy, and the plan doesn't work out that way, you call somebody that has interest in Flacco, likes Flacco, has been with Flacco before. You go, hey, how about a 7th to have him in your quarterback room? He's a veteran guy. He's really good to have in the locker room, blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. So, I don't know. Those are the storylines we're excited to hear about. Make sure to like, subscribe, noti bell if you want. Leave a comment down below, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.